So we're looking today at why and how people are influenced by others. We'll be discussing conformity, compliance, and obedience. It is fascinating to see how people are so easily swayed by others. We are so easily swayed by people around us, and you wonder what's driving us to conform. What is it in us that wants to make us obey, regardless of whether we agree or disagree with the situation? We just want to obey. Okay? It is a realization that human beings are social creatures. So as much as possible, we want to conform, we want to fit in. We have that need to be accepted by others. And this is where this concept of conformity, compliance, and obedience comes in, because each one is explaining ways in which we are influenced by other people so that we can be among, we can be socially, how do we put it now, part of the movement, or whatever it is that is appealing to us part time. So let's look at conformity. What exactly is conformity? Why do people conform? Okay, and conformity is the tendency to adjust our thoughts, our beliefs, or our feelings or behaviors, okay, to align with that of others, to align with that of a group, a sect, a religious, just a group, a movement. We align our own thought, our feelings and behavior with that of others, okay? And there are different reasons why we might want to do this, maybe to avoid social rejection. So we say, first of all, for normative reasons. Normative reasons are desires to be liked or accepted by others. When we conform because we want to be liked, we do not want to be rejected, we want to fit in. That is one reason. Another reason is informational influence. The desire to be correct or to make the right decision. So we tend to go to the people we feel have the answers. We think they are experienced, or they are experts in the field where we need answers or solutions, and we kind of just conform. Okay, so how does conformity and compliance now, how are they different? Because conformity is not the same thing as compliance, though they are similar. Okay, now compliance is a situation where we respond to a direct request by someone. So let's say someone requests that we do something for them, and because we do not want to be seen as the bad guy, let's use this example, maybe in the workplace now, a colleague is asking that maybe another person takes their shift, and it doesn't sit down well with them, it's inconveniencing and all, but because they don't want to be seen as the bad guy who doesn't take other people's shift, the person agrees and takes the shift. So that is compliance. It comes with a request. So when that request is made, we tend to comply and just respond to it like that. Compliance most of the time happens as a result of social pressure, or because we want to avoid conflict. So we have said that conformity happens because we want to fit in, we want to avoid social rejection. Now we're saying compliance happens because we want to fit in and avoid social pressure. Okay, so we just want to maintain a good relationship at cost. So who is paying the price for that good relationship? Because we are complying even when it is inconvenient for us. Okay, so compliance is more about going along with a specific request, whereas conformity is about following the group, following the sect, following the beliefs, following the movement. Okay, how does obedience now come into the picture? Obedience, on the other hand, is different from both compliance and conformity, because it involves following orders or directives from an authority figure, somebody we believe has answers, Okay, somebody we believe has influence. So the difference here is the power dynamics. Okay, obedience is usually a response to someone, you know, like I said, that we know can give us the answers that we need or things like that. So even when it means that we are responding in a way that is does not align with our beliefs, or that we think is wrong or harmful, because we have to obey based on what we have attached to that authority, we tend to respond. And that is why we see all sorts of things going on these days. In the name of God, in the name of religion, people buy all sorts of, things that they want to drink, they want to chant, and you're wondering, how is it so easy for these people to be swayed? Especially when it comes to Christianity, that's what I'm familiar with. It is the same Bible that everybody is carrying about. But you're wondering why someone would say thunder and lightning brought something on top of a rock. And they show a video and people are falling, to just get, a bit of it to help their lives. It is a bit unsettling. Why do people obey authorities when it goes against their own values, against their own beliefs, against their understanding of how it should be? Obedience to authority is something that is deeply ingrained in us. Growing up, that's how we were socialized. We were told to obey parents, obey teachers, obey every member of the extended families. We respect elders. We do not question elders. Okay, so it's now so easier for anybody to come with some air of authority and start telling people, this is what you should do, this is how I saw it, this is how I received it, and people start obeying, especially when they think the person is legitimate or knowledgeable. And you see a lot of things going on around, and you're wondering, how do people get to this level? Some of us say, how do they get to this level of deception? But the truth is, it is based on the way we were socialized. However, people might feel the obligation to follow, or to feel a sense of obligation to follow somebody and all. Okay, it's a mix of social conditioning and the belief that the authority knows best. Conformity, obedience, compliance is a mix of social condition, the way we were socialized, and the belief that this authority knows best. So, but when people resist the influences, what would happen? Because resistance to social influence can occur for different reasons. What will happen? Why would people say, you know what, I do not want to do this anymore? It could be as a result of individual differences. So you get to a point where people could have been following through with certain beliefs, certain movements, certain instruction, complying and conforming, to instructions or way of lives or behaviors that do not align with the truth of who they are inside of them. But at some point, individual differences can set in. And someone will say, you know what, I do not agree with this and I do not want to follow through. Another factor is situational factor. Once someone resists, it takes one person to resist. You see that other people will be like, truly, how is this thing going? Do I really believe in this? And then, though it sounds like a complex balance between wanting to fit in and avoiding conflict and following authority versus staying true to your own self, obedience to authority is deeply ingrained in us. Additionally, in situations where the authority figure is perceived as legitimate or knowledgeable, people may believe that obedience is the right course of action, so they feel a sense of obligation to just follow through with whatever the authority is saying. So at the end of the day, it's a mix of social conditioning and belief in the authority, okay? Believing that the authority knows best, believing that the authority has the answers to whatever questions we have. However, there could be a time that people actually resist. Why would there be social resistance? One reason is individual differences. People could resist based on the fact that everybody has been coming and conforming and obeying and complying, but it gets to a point and someone feels like these things are not right and they should not continue, and that person decides to say, you know what, I cannot follow through. Saying that, it could give rise to situational factors where other people become empowered to also resist because one person has done it. Okay? So it sounds like a complex balance between wanting to fit in, avoiding conflicts, and following authority, versus staying true to your values, to your beliefs, and to the truth that you are aware of. So social influence is a very powerful force. A very powerful force, but it is not absolute. It is not absolute. It's not something that people are yoked under forever. So understanding how we are influenced by others will help us to make conscious choices. And we need to constantly make those choices on why do I want to obey? Why do I want to comply? Why do I want to be accepted into this place? Does it align with my values? Does it align with my beliefs? Does it align with where I'm going, the goals I have set for myself? Does it align with who I claim to be, or who I know myself to be? Okay, so, and this really highlights the importance of self-awareness, critical thinking, and they will help us to navigate social situations. When we are very much aware of ourselves, we'll be able to navigate such social situations, being mindful of why we're doing something, whether or not it is good or it is not good. We have that right to take such decisions. Does this thing does it align with my values? We ask such questions. And that's a great takeaway from this discussion today. Because social influence, they are a natural part of our human development. Or being aware will allow us, to act in ways that align with the truth of who we are, will help us act in ways that align with our values, our goals, and will take better decisions rather than just going along with the crowd, obeying authority figure, bending over backwards to fit in and to belong and not be rejected. Or we just want to have that good reputation, the good guy, always kind, always. You become a people pleaser, to whose detriment? When we want everything at cost, who is paying the price for it? Okay, so the great takeaway today is self-awareness will help us to decide when to obey, comply, or conform.
Fearless.